Hi, everyone. My name is Ido Akinde. Everyone calls me ID. So, season 4, episode 5. This is episode 5 in this season. Season 4 is about team validation. This is episode 5, but it's number 4 in the list of things to think about when you're looking for a co-founder. Without much further ado, let's get right to it. This particular episode talks about the need to evaluate the financial situation in the life of your potential co-founder. So we've spoken about, we've spoken about a couple of things, and I'd like you to think about them as filters. So think about it as a funnel, actually, right? A funnel, right? Something large that tapers out. Okay. So in the beginning, you have a lot of candidates, okay, 10, 20 candidates, right? The first filter is how many of them align with your values, with your why, okay? Values alignment, share your why and watch the body language. The second filter is, do they have skills that are relevant to that particular startup? Founding skills, okay? If you look at the map, founding skills, startup skills layout. The third filter is grit. We just discussed that in the previous episode before this. The fourth filter, which is what we're discussing now, is the financial situation. So you want to, you want to spend some time thinking about how finances will affect this person. Okay, so let's just quickly take a look at that, and then we can be on our way. I already promised that this will be very, very short videos, and hopefully I can fulfill that promise. So the fourth thing to think about is financial situation. So you want to think about the candidates that you have, that you are considering for this position. How are they financially? The reason for this is quite interesting, not far-fetched. Because the reality is that if you put two friends together and tell them they should start a company together, right? As long as money is not involved, they can continue working together and never have a quarrel for the next 100 years, right? But trust me, money will be involved one way or the other when you're building a startup. And so you need to understand your co-founder's relationship with money, okay? Their position, and relationship with money. So are they in a comfortable position money-wise? Even if they are not comfortable, do they have some kind of backup, right? It's rather naive and defeatist to expect that someone that is always under financial pressure will be able to deliver top quality work with top presence of mind while building your startup. Okay, so you need to settle this question earlier rather than later. You need to settle the question of do they have a steady income? And a steady income in some cases could be a salary, or it could be anything else. Do they have a way to pay their bills, right? Or do you have a war chest? Do you have some kind of provision? It could be an allowance, no matter how small it is. It could be something that just takes care of communication, feeding, transportation, at least until the ball gets rolling and the ball gets momentum. People do that all the time. Founders do that all the time. Are you going to provide that? And if that is not on the table, then you need to be upfront and discuss with these candidates and get some sense for how much pressure they are under. So do they have some kind of income? First of all, is that income steady? Okay, first question. Second, even if they have steady income, do they have dependents? Dependents are not always children. Do they have dependents? Are there are there standing repetitive things to which they must spend money, upon which they must spend money, for instance, every month or every week or every fortnight, right? So do they have dependents, right? Do they have long-standing obligations, loans, mortgages, long-term leases and the like, right? Well, depending on your chemistry, depending on your camaraderie, depending on the degree of friendship, the level of friendship you have, you may be able to extract this information out, or you may not be able to extract it, but it's something worth considering, right? Loans and other obligations exert significant pressure on the mental state of people, right? And so, like I said, the co-founding relationship is an incredibly stressful relationship because the amount of work that needs to be done is incredibly stressful, is incredibly voluminous. And so you are not really out looking for other opportunities or other things to add that are going to just increase the pressure on this person's cognitive or mental state. If some of those conditions are not met, is it possible for this person to have a part-time job? So when we get to vesting agreements, we'll discuss this in full detail, but do you need to allow this person to get a part-time job rather than do 40 hours per week, 8 hours per day, 5 days a week on your startup? Can they do 20 hours on the job somewhere so that they have some income to sustain themselves and 20 hours per week for you? Or can they work weekdays for that job and weekends for you? Or can they work, just find a way to balance it. And these are the days of remote. So if they have the opportunity to work remotely at their primary place of work, perhaps they can shave off some hours that they would have spent commuting, and they can dedicate those hours to helping you build your startup, and so on and so forth. So, it's a robust set of things to think about that are around the concept of finances and financial situation for each of those candidates. So filters: filter 1, value alignment; filter 2, skills, founding skills; filter 3, grit; filter 4, financial situation. Thank you very much for tolerating my hallucination. See you on the next one. Bye.